21st century, there's a strong nexus between technological revolution and economic growth. It is also a key driver of capital market operations in countries like Nigeria. Mr. Ade Bajomo, Executive Director Market Operations and Technology for the Nigeria Stock Exchange, in this exclusive gives insight to how the exchange is leveraging technology to transform Nigeria's capital market space.
The Nigerian Stock Exchange, as you know very well, launched its XGen, Next Generation Trading Platform, in 2013. And there were quite a number of baselines that we had in mind when we were thinking about the platform and what it can do for our market. Clearly, with markets, you want reliability, you want robustness, but you also want speed, because speed and low latency are the key ways in which you transact business. But you also look forward as well, and sideways, yeah. So when we're looking forward, we're seeing a market that's been trading electronically, to be quite fair, since 1999, but hasn't made that next step jump, so to speak, really. So, and that next step jump has a number of items in there. One is that you got to prepare for algorithmic trading. Yeah, you don't have to have it now, but you have a platform that prepares for it, because computers, robots are going to replace humans, and they've started replacing humans. The next step is that you got to bring it back home and say, how do we include more people in the market? We have currently 5 million accounts registered at the CSCS. We have 170 million people, about 120 million telephone accounts. How do we get more of our people to participate in the wealth creation, but also participate in financial inclusion and creating and building their own wealth as part of the growth of their country? One of the things you dread most when you run business critical technology is the technology failing. So you'll be amazed at the length exchanges go through, to make sure things work and work perfectly well, 24/7. And we pride ourselves in our availability levels compared to anywhere. I mean, last year, if you looked at last year, we had 100% availability. Absolutely not a second disruption to trading as a really. And like I said, if you look through, you need to look through our disaster recovery plans, our resilience plans, the way we train our people, the way we manage changes. We just don't manage changes willingly, and we minimize that to the absolute minimum. But with technology, even though we've got man and the moon for now several years, we're pushing to Mars, the fact is that when you're writing software code, you have millions and millions and millions of lines. What differentiates the, if you like, more capable firms, from the rest is the ability to recover very, very quickly in the event of a disruption. So if there's a disruption, then you're able to revert back to your business continuity plans or your disaster recovery plans and recover your systems. You don't lose your data. You don't lose, the core services that you provide as part of the infrastructure. So it's always a challenge for us in exchanges and in all business critical environments. And we take, a lot of precaution to make sure those issues don't happen. Exchanges have always innovated. They've innovated primarily around the areas of speed, because speed is important. You see a price, if you get a price, if you're able to execute at that price, that could be the difference between you making, a profit, a huge profit, or a huge loss, as really. So speed has always been important. And so has been resilience, really. So a lot of it has been around moving the speed of execution, from seconds to microseconds to microns to nanoseconds now, And, we have one of the lowest latencies in Africa as really. But if you bring it back home to, if you like, Nigeria, I see the disruption. They may not look like disruption, because the disruptive technology is already here with us, But what's going to really shift the market is probably 2 or 3-fold. We have to find a clever way to bring in social media, and leverage that with mobile telephony. And when I use the word mobile telephony, I'm not talking about smartphone trading. I'm talking about mobile telephony. And bring the two together in a smart manner, that allows us to offer the right product, yeah, at the right level to the right people. So let me explain that. Let me try and put that together. So the best analogy for a minute is think about when you were growing up. Yeah, you probably still saw that. You could only buy pig milk in tins. Yeah, so you must have X amount of naira, maybe 150 naira to buy a tin of pig milk. What about a guy who does not have a fridge at home, but wants to drink milk and wants to take milk every day? Yeah, and that went on for a long time. You can only buy it in tins. Then some guys thought, why don't we put it in sachets? So the guy can buy a 10 naira sachet. Yeah, he buys what he needs. One, that's all he can afford. Two, he doesn't have to worry about whether there's a fridge or not. Or yeah, that, and all of a sudden, those fast-moving consumer goods companies actually saw a big growth in the sale. They started reaching out to a market that was otherwise excluded. So we have to think that way in the financial services area, in the securities market. We have to start developing products that allow us to reach the mass market. Yeah, and there are many creative products around that. So wouldn't it be a great idea the next time the federal government or state is issuing a bond, maybe to build the next airport or a road expansion program, to say, we're going to reserve 5% of that to our citizens. And anybody who has 1,000 naira, can actually subscribe into this bond. So the locals can subscribe into the bond with 1,000 naira. Yeah, at the end of 6 months or whatever, they get a coupon. That's a fairly safe investment. Yeah, as a way really. So they not just get after 6 months or 1 year the 1,000 naira back. They get maybe another 100 naira in terms of the coupon payment. You start creating an investment culture. You start building national savings. This 1,000 naira I'm talking about will probably have otherwise gone into drinking a few bottles of beer or whatever. And when people see that, whoa, I can actually participate. Now, you bring that around and leverage that with mobile phone technology. Yeah, because virtually everybody carries a mobile phone now. Yeah, so that issue of financial inclusion is now getting everywhere. If you all carry a mobile phone and you can get products that people can invest in at the right level, then that's fantastic. But how do you reach 170 million people? That's really where social media comes in. So we have to take those technologies as, they're already established, but we have to use them in a more disruptive way to actually make sure we reach more people and get more people to participate in the development, in the growth, and in creating and retaining wealth in the country. The retail investors should look forward to the NSE driving the innovation of products and services that provide retail investors easy access to the market. Yep, so they don't even have to scratch their brain or whatever. Just like, they can send an SMS. Yeah, we would like them to be able to access the market with that level of simplicity or something quite comparable from a market speak perspective. Retail investors should expect transparency, in terms of the information they get from us, in terms of information about the securities that they have. Retail investors should take confidence that they have a market infrastructure that is actually going to be run in a very, very highly regulated manner. It's going to have the best technologies to support the services being provided. It's going to be supported by well-capitalized broker-dealer networks who are service-oriented as a web. And in overall terms, the whole idea is to enable retail investors to grow their wealth, and build their wealth and participate in the growth of their country.